Well, Nebraska's coming off the heels of a big time recruiting weekend, and it was big recruiting weekends across the board over the month of July in college football. Now we're starting to get in some intel and some ideas on where these guys stand with a lot of these schools, even some commitments. Nebraska losing out on some of the guys. Douglas Utu, of course, committing elsewhere, and so it's one of those deals where you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but you don't want to panic. You don't want to freak out because Nebraska is making a lot of good progress with a lot of these prospects. So I'm going to get into one today where Nebraska has kind of become favored to land. Got a crystal ball yesterday at the cornerback position. So Bryson Weber is who I'm going to get into today. First things first, my name is Justin Adams. I'm a content creator here at Nebraska Football at the Voice of College Football. If you like what we're doing here, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out. Additionally, I dropped Nebraska's program overview on my other channel, The Big Ten Show. So if you would like to go check that out, I will drop the link in the description. We're at 942 subscribers, and so really wanted to save the Nebraska one to set us over the top for 1,000. So yeah, hop on over there and join the Big Ten Show community. And let's get into it. So Bryson Weber. Bryson Weber he's a very interesting backstory. Before I get into his film, and I'm gonna get into why this interests me and what this kind of tells me about him. So he played wide receiver in high school, okay, and was in a pretty loaded wide receiver room over there in high school with a crowded room of prospects. So his coaches, kind of pulled him to the side and said that they think it would be in his best interest if he was to move to cornerback, just based on, his ball skill abilities and his frame. So, he made the switch and has been very successful as an 88 rated 3-star and a 4-star according to the 24/7 composite. So that to me right there shows a player who is coachable, who's willing to listen to the staff, which, you're going to a school because you want to become the best man and best player you can be. So listening to the staff is paramount, especially in the culture you're trying to build at Nebraska right now, where it's just very much a team building atmosphere where they want you to do whatever you got to do to help the team win. So this, Bryson Weber straight away showing that, but even more so in his comments when talking about it. He talked about he wants to emulate Stephon Gilmore's game because of Stephon Gilmore's IQ and knowing where the ball is going, knowing how to respond, really watching film, studying these offensive plays, and kind of picking up on tendencies and trends to take that game to the next level. He's very, very cerebral in the way he talks. And, he says he loves that side of the game. So, that is his focus, is learning that cerebralness, and that will complete his, evolution if he does want to be an NFL prospect one day. Now, when talking about the move to cornerback, Nebraska was actually the first school that offered him a scholarship after he switched to cornerback. And so, he has a good relationship with Evan Cooper that he mentioned. And when talking about Nebraska, he said they've always had faith in me. So the fact that they were the first ones to trusted me that I can develop into who I am, that really goes a long way. So something about, again, this staff being the first one on him, and again, just taking a chance on a guy who just switched positions. And of course, he's gotten traction along the way, but the Nebraska offer clearly stands out to him. And that could be a very good reason why Nebraska got the momentum that they had going into this weekend. So, talking about his frame, he's 6'2", 175 pounds, 88 rated 3-star, again, 4-star on the 24/7 composite. Dual sport guy, Matt Rhule loves those. 10.5, 600 meter, and he also ran the 200 meter as a junior. So a very, very athletic kid, and still a lot of room to grow and develop at the cornerback position. Already rated an 88 3-star, and I'm going to show you a lot on his film today that this guy looks like a very, very seasoned cornerback already. So let's go ahead and get right into his film. All right, so this first play here, sorry. This one's going to show a little bit of the football IQ and just the processing, right? Right now, what we got is his eyes are inward, indicating that he's probably in a zone defense, probably not manning up. So eyes inward, kind of forcing the receiver to the inside, and we'll let it play here just for a second. So you see him there on the edge. Goes up and gets the interception. Now, looking at what happens here, essentially what happens is, nobody comes into his AOR, which is his area of responsibility. Nobody comes over into this area of responsibility. So he's just kind of watching the quarterback, seeing what he does, kind of watching the play, come out, but making sure he stays in the quarterback's eyes to kind of see where the throw's going. and he almost kind of lurks this, and just kind of waits and times it perfectly. The quarterback doesn't even see him because he's staying far enough to the side to where he can still go get the ball, but he's out of the quarterback's peripheral. So we'll let that run again. Just kind of hangs out, waits for the throw, reads it perfectly, goes and gets it. Again, that's part of the ball skills and the receiving ability, knowing, just how kind of to time that up and how how far away you can be to be able to still make a play on the ball and be able to get both hands on the ball. So moving on to a play number 2. So let me go ahead and move this forward just a touch. Okay. So you'll see he's on the outside here. This one's an incomplete pass that he forces. And what you're going to see is he's playing man coverage here. So he's off a little bit, but playing man coverage. And in man coverage in a 3-3-5, you want to keep the play in front of you. And so you want to keep the play in front of you unless you can jump the route or get both hands on the ball again. So we're going to watch how let's let this run here for a second. Closes the distance and makes the play. Okay. So it's not the fact that, he can be a little bit off the ball here, like he is a little bit away from the ball, a little bit behind receiver, but knowing your closing speed and your ability to come downhill and be able to make the play, and also being close enough to where you can, time it up perfectly and be able to break the play up without getting there early and also knocking the ball away. So you're not getting there late and they're making the catch. So he times it up perfectly here. Boom, is able to make that tackle and actually knock the ball loose there at the end. So it's an incomplete pass. Now, the reason I want to spotlight this play right here, 3-3-5 defense is very susceptible to the run game on the edges. It's very susceptible to passes up the seams, right? So you need cornerbacks that have the ability to recognize and identify the play in the backfield and also be able to shed blocks and be able to get off blocks and run stop on the edges and on the outside. Of course, you have your linebackers and safeties to help out with that, but you really want to have good cornerbacks that can blow that play up as it comes to the outside. So you got a guy like him here, and I'll show this kind of play here. So what you're going to see here is, he's kind of on an island for a second here, right there. Okay, so he gets off that first tackle. So he's able to come in, he's able to wrap up and make this tackle, because if he doesn't make this tackle, he's rattling off probably another 6-7 yards. This is a 4th down, just to note, 4th and short. So that's what makes this play important. And that's something to also pay attention to on the film, is the situation. So this play right here saves a first down. Coming to the outside, gets around, makes a stop, because there's a very good chance he gets that first down if he's not there to make that stop. So again, just a situation right there where he needs to come up and make a play, and he absolutely does. Okay. And wraps up and makes the tackle to make sure that he doesn't fight or drag him for a couple of yards. All right. So let me move upwards here over to 48 seconds. All right, so a couple plays here, just kind of showing a very similar. Each one of these plays is showing a similar result, but we'll look at the differences in the actual coverage. So again, he's press man. Well, not press man, but he's man coverage a little closer, probably about 3 yards off the ball. Manned up straight. You can see kind of a man across the board with a single high safety. So potentially cover 1, potentially cover 3, but it's looking like almost like a cover 1. Okay, so you'll see right here, he kind of flips his hips to the outside. He's going to force that man to the sideline, so that way he can't cut inside. That little hip shuffle, you push him to the sideline. And what you're going to see him do here is, as the wide receiver releases, when his hips go to force him outside, he's also then able to catch the speed with him and identify how fast this guy can run, and he's able to get his head around and almost make the interception. The ball was overthrown a little bit. I think the receiver's trying to put it away, but he gets his head around, is able to see the ball. You like him get his eyes on the ball too as well. Moving up to play 5. Again, man coverage here. This one, he's going to force the wide receiver to the inside, gets his hips outside, forces the receiver inside to where there's a lot of help, doesn't have help over the top above him right now. So he goes to the inside, kind of gets cluttered in there in the space with all these routes kind of coming together at once, is able to knock the ball loose. Right there, forced into a lot of bodies there. I'm not sure if that was designed like that, but I feel like part of that is his hips being able to force that guy to the inside and not let him get that outside positioning to be able to go for a fade route to the corner or anything like that. So Now moving up to a minute 19 seconds. Only got a few more plays for y'all here, but there's some good ones on the end here. All right, 119. So man coverage. This is another one showing kind of his ability to understand and read the play. So man coverage here. So we're going to let it run just a little bit. Now it looks like a man cover two. You see the open look, but you got two safeties high. So it's either going to be a cover two or a cover four quarters. Okay. And gets the interception. So what you're going to see happen here is back it up just a little bit more. Okay. So what's going to happen here is essentially he knows he has help over the top with that safety, right? So in that situation, again, when you kind of have a man zone concept, again, when you're man up on a guy, you don't want to undercut him unless you can get both hands on the ball, right? But this is a little bit of a different situation because this is kind of a broken play. So he's again going to kind of lurk there and use his ability, to kind of just kind of like hide in the shadows and be able to go up and get the ball. So he's going to drop back and then undercut it and then understand that he can undercut it because of his help over the top. And then again, he knows his frame, he knows his ability to go up and get the ball. So let it roll here. He's on the outside over there, comes back in, just kind of sits down, is able to get the interception, the concentration, the focus to get the interception there. Again, a lot of cerebralness, a lot of play IQ here. So play number 7, let me go ahead and, oh, actually we're already on it. So play 7 here. I got this one and then one more for y'all. Okay, so play 7 here, man coverage again. So you're going to see him up top. So he's man up here. Eyes are in the backfield. So this is one of those plays where you're going to see him kind of identify this and blow it up before it gets started. And so let it run. Okay, so what you're going to see here is since his eyes are in the backfield, what he's able to do here is really kind of not fall for the receiver's bait, if you will. The receiver's trying to almost, they're trying to run a route concept and instead of blocking to not give away the fact of what the play is that is coming out there. But watch him just kind of watch the play unfold. He knows where the ball is going. He goes up and gets it, right? Does it that could come from a number of things, just his understanding of the game, or it could come from his film watching. Like those are the little plays that make the biggest difference, of the plays that you see coming and that you've seen and studied in film, etc. So moving forward to the last play. Okay, so this is a really good one here. It's press man, so it's showing his ability to be able to stay with a guy in press man coverage. He comes out of his break on time, and again, the ability to, or in the 3-3-5, what you need to do is you need to have your man caught before you ever flip your head around. And because it's such a risk reward defense, like if you have to ensure that you're not getting beat over the top, especially in man coverage, especially in press man, where you have no help over the top. You have a completely stacked box here, and there's not going to be a lot of guys that can come over and get help over the top in a go route situation here. So this is a very, very good situation to test his man coverage skills. So he waits till he knows he has the defender caught before he flips his head around, or knows that he has the speed with him and is able to go up and get a hand on the ball. Again, ball skills, very, very paramount there. This is understanding his body, understanding his leverage, understanding and knowing how to use that to be able to go up and get the ball and basically run the route better than receiver. So again, when you want to make sure that you have the speed to keep up with the defender, once you know that there, he keeps the hand on him a little bit just to make sure that he knows where he is at all times, uses that as a gauge, able to go up, get his hand on the ball, and knock the ball away. So, a lot to like there about Bryson Weber. High football IQ, one of the guys that wants to be better in the mental aspect of the game. And that's probably what's helped him the most in transitioning to corner. And as time goes along, he's going to learn more and more about corner. So, being a almost 4-star rated, guy who switched positions later in his career is going to, pay dividends for his versatility too on this team. So he's a guy who can do a lot of different things, and a guy who's willing to do a lot of different things and do what the staff asks of him to help him win. And that's part of the reason I think he, will ultimately come to Nebraska. So, yep. Yeah, that'll do it here for me on Bryson Weber. I have some more stuff coming for y'all. Sorry for the delay in uploads the last few days. I was having an issue with my camera. That's all resolved now. So I will be pumping out the content for y'all that I missed in the last few days. So drop your comments and let me know what y'all want next. Let me know what you think of Bryson Weber. Please consider leaving a like and helping out. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.